If you clicked onto this video, then you're probably a South African looking to start a business in 2024. And I completely understand how confusing the process can be and how overwhelming it can be. So the purpose of this video is no matter who you are, no matter how old you are, no matter where you are in life, this is going to be applicable to you, and it's going to teach you exactly A to Z how to build a business in South Africa. And I'm going to try and be as detailed as possible. So without further ado, I'm going to go straight into it. Now, step number one, I know you're going to roll your eyes, but it's mindset. And the reason I want to cover this is because in a lot of my other videos and a lot of the things that I put out there, a lot of people come to me, especially as South Africans, with a victim mentality. And this is going to keep you back tremendously. So when I talk about mindset, what I mean is that you need to tell yourself that you can make an online income as a South African. What's more is you can even make dollars as a South African, which is obviously so valuable, especially considering the currency exchange. You really can do it. And I know because I created a company when I was only 17. By the time that I was 21, I'd already made it up to $100,000 in profit, in cash, in my bank. So with that being said, I know the confusing parts around it, and I want to give you a guideline so you don't have to go through all of that yourself. But the first thing you need to do is tell yourself that it's possible. And just because you're South African doesn't mean you are limited for opportunity. If anything, it means there's so much more opportunity because so few people are actually doing it in our country, and they don't even know how to do it because it's not like the first world countries where there's a step-by-step guide everywhere you look and there's YouTubers talking about it. It's so different, and the information is limited for us. So you've just unlocked the key, and now everything is possible. And you need to do a little bit more research, but open your mind to the fact that there is a possibility and you can succeed. You need to understand that. And once you have that down, then we can move on to step two. Now, step number two is the nuances around starting a company. Now, what I want to be very clear about is that you do not need to register a company right now. Right? You simply need to move on to step three, but I wanted to put this in step two because a lot of people immediately freak out when they realize that, oh, well, do I have to register a company? Do I need a website? Do I need this? Do I need that? It is so much simpler than what we're taught in school. And that is the reason why I never paid too much attention, because I knew what it took to start a company. I'd already done it, but there's so much nuance around, should I register it? At what point do I register it? At what point do I hire people? Don't overcomplicate the process. Don't think ahead. All you need right now is think about step number one and step number two, and then move blindly one foot in front of the other, and you'll eventually figure it out. So that brings me to step number three. Step number three is you need to find a skill and you need to find an offer. What I mean by that is you need to figure out what you can actually offer to the world of value. So whether that is content creation, whether you have a natural knack at video editing, whether you just understand web design, or maybe it's not even anything to do with those avenues. Maybe you have a natural interest towards cooking. Maybe you have a natural interest towards personal training or fitness. Those are things that you can offer, and if you have a natural inclination towards them already, I recommend that you actually focus on them a lot more. The way that I first started, and I actually teach this in a free community that I built out purposefully for this fact of teaching people how to make an income online from A to Z, and it's so much more detailed than what I'm giving you here. So if you want access to that, go down below and there's going to be a link in the description. You can get access, no strings attached, and I'm not going to sell you anything. But with that being said, I'm going to go back to the point of what you need to do in terms of finding a skill. Now, I teach this, but what you need to do is you need to figure out what you're good at, where your interests lie, and then you can create a business or an offer from those things. So once you figure that out, make a list of those things on a piece of paper. Literally go write them down. I'm interested in cooking. I'm pretty good at sports. I'm pretty good at this. I have a natural inclination to this. Write all those things down. And what you're going to do is you're going to circle three of them that you would want to monetize or work on. Those are going to be your top passions or your top skills. From there, you want to pick a niche. So once you pick your niche, then you can understand, okay, I've got this thing that I can offer. I can offer cooking, but who am I going to offer that thing to? You need to figure out who you're going to sell that thing to and what you can actually offer those people. Once you have those two figured out, you've got a business. You don't have to go around registering. You don't have to think about what is going to be groundbreaking. You do not need to create the next Amazon. You literally can just take an idea, move on from it, and work on a proven system. Reinventing the wheel is so unnecessary. If you want to do something great, it's going to come as a byproduct of doing the simple things, and then you'll figure out gaps in the market. But for right now, all you need to do is understand step number one, which is finding that offer, finding that niche. And once you have that, then we can move on. So that brings me to step number 4, which is building a portfolio. So now you figured out, okay, I'm going to offer graphic design, for example, and I'm going to offer it to the fitness industry. I'm going to purposely reach out to gyms and I'm going to ask them to manage their accounts. Now you're going to face problem number 1, which is these people don't trust you. And why should they? Because they don't know you, they don't know what you can do, and you don't know what you can do. But don't get imposter syndrome. All you need to do now is you've successfully reached challenge number 1 in business, and it is to figure out how you can appeal to these people. So you need to build a portfolio and a testimonial folder. What you need to do in there is you need to compile a selection of videos, content, whatever you can, showing your skills. So if you are offering cooking classes and that is your offer, that's what you want to sell, then what you need to do is you need to build a portfolio of the dishes that you've made. You need to build a portfolio of free content that they can consume to understand what recipes you usually use or what recipes they can use at home. So you need to do this kind of free portfolio that people can use as a reference point. Likewise, let's just say that you are looking into video editing. You need to create a portfolio of different styles of video editing so people can see your diversity. And if they're interested in one of those styles, they know you can do it. So whether that's short form content, whether it is doing motion graphics, whether it is editing gaming videos, or whether it is editing financial videos, these are all things that you now need to build a portfolio on, and you need to do it for free. You just need to do these things before you even reach out. And now you have something to go off of. Now these people can trust you. So once you have that, we can move on to the next step. And that brings me to step number 5, which is figuring out your offer. Now, when you're figuring out what you actually want to offer, you need to think about how you can sell this thing. So yes, you figured out, okay, I want to offer cooking classes to this kind of person. But are you going to do that weekly? Is it going to be a monthly basis? Is there going to be any add-ons? Are there goods and services attached to that? Are you maybe going to give people a bonus downloadable piece of content? You need to think about how you're going to offer this thing. And the best way to do that is to do research on freelancing platforms. This is also going to lead into the next step of how to actually find people to get interested. But you need to do research on freelancing platforms and online and groups, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, whatever you can. And you need to see what people are offering. So if you're interested in video editing, okay, is there a lot of attention around short form content right now? Yes. Okay, cool. So what are they offering? How much are they offering it for? Is it $10 per video? Is it $20 per video? Whatever it is that you can find online, you need to now do your research on what people are offering, what your potential earning is, and what kind of offer you can actually offer to these people that will make them interested and that you will enjoy as well. So once you have your offer, now we need to move on to the next phase, which is figuring out your platform. So that is step number 6 in creating your business, is finding a platform where you can actually offer these services or these goods. So let's say that you have chosen your skill, you've chosen your niche, you understand what you're selling. Now you need to find people that are actually interested in it. The way to do that is to set up yourself up on platforms. So if you're offering a service, then I would recommend platforms like Fiverr.com, and I would recommend Upwork.com, freelancer.com, and you can find a plethora of other platforms. There's tons of platforms depending on what niche you want to go into. So if you want to go into web dev, then I recommend that you ask ChatGPT for a few suggestions on what kind of platforms are out there. Likewise goes for any other skill, maybe graphic design, etc., etc. There's tons of platforms specific to those skills that you can focus on. And if you're offering a good, then I recommend that you first set yourself up on some kind of free website and you offer it there, or you use social media to your benefit. And that kind of can be used in unison, even if you're offering a service, is you need to do cold outreach. And this is going to be the most grueling part of creating a business, is finding people that want that product. It's as simple as that though. You find what you can offer, you find what you're good at, you offer it, and then you try and see who you can actually offer it to. That's literally all a business is. You're offering something to someone and then you're getting an exchange from that. And if you're not getting an exchange from them, first face your challenges, which is, why are they not interested? Is it the offer? Is it the product? Is it not good enough? How can I change this thing so that they are interested? So with that being said, when you're setting yourself up on these platforms, most of your time is going to go towards finding clients or finding someone that's actually interested in what you offer. And that is unfortunately where a lot of your attention will go to in the beginning, instead of actually going to the thing that you enjoy or the thing that you want to offer. And that's just a part of life. That's a part of business. But once you start making money, then you can outsource and get someone else to do the things that you don't enjoy. So if you don't enjoy sales, you can get someone else to do it once you start making some money, once you start seeing some traction. And then likewise, if you just don't enjoy delivering the service or the good, you don't have to do that. You can get someone else to do that. So with that being said, you need to think strategically about that part of the business, but only later on. Right now, you've got zero income from this new business, but you also don't have any risk because there's no money needed to be put down. And that is the beauty of starting a business. Although a lot of people say that capital is needed, it depends on what you're looking into. If you're a service-based business, luckily you don't need capital. And if you're just starting out, you don't necessarily need it. You can always be strategic with, okay, I know what I'm going to offer. This is what I would have been doing anyway. And all I need is like pre-orders if it's a product. And that way they pay for that good before you even need to make it and expend that at all, and then go and make an expense. So what you need right now is just a concept, and you need to figure out who you're going to offer that concept to. And once you start doing the outreach and you start reaching out to people on social media, you start putting out content, you start reaching out on these freelancing platforms, then you'll see some traction. You'll see, okay, people are not interested. What do I need to change? People are interested. Now we're facing new challenges of, I don't know how to do this particular thing. So let me do a little bit more research. And that kind of brings me to step number 7, which is do not get caught in the planning process. Just start. I can promise you anything. If there's one thing I learned across my journey in entrepreneurship and building my own company on the past 7 years, one thing I can guarantee you is that the planning process is what debilitated me the most. I understand how important it is to have a clear image of what you need to do, but no one has it figured out. I still don't, and I'm not going to ever have it figured out. I have some ideas and I have some goals, and that's it. But when it comes to actually scaling, when it comes to doing something tangible, you cannot plan that phase. It is going to debilitate you. It's the biggest enemy to actually making progress that you will ever face. All you need to do is you need to figure out what you want to offer, who you want to offer it to, and take action. Don't overthink it. Don't get caught up in what 90% of people do is the planning phase, which is just an excuse not to take action. Don't do that. Just blindly put one foot in front of the other. You can figure something out so easily. If you want to sell a product, great. Then put a note on your neighbor's doors and say, hey, if I offered this, would you buy it? But we have social media, so you can message your friends. If I had this, would you buy it? Message some strangers. If I had this, would you buy it? And maybe they'll say no. So you figure out, okay, I need to change the offer. It's as simple as that. You face your first challenge and then you start building a business. It's not this grand business plan that you need, not this grand registrations and everything like that. Now, it is that simple. So moving on to the last step, which is arguably one of the most important ones, is if you want to earn in dollars, you want to think a little bit bigger. Exactly the same way that I was able to scale this, quite frankly, is I had an international market. However, I do recommend that you stay locally to figure out if it works, and then you take that work, you model, and you can scale it. That is what I would recommend for you. International, not for everyone. But if you want to earn in dollars, it's not impossible, especially on the freelancing platforms. That's how I got started as well. And I still only earn in dollars. Now, the way that you can do that is you need to, unfortunately, get set up with FNB. No other banks set you up. No other banks have the same integration. So you want to get set up with FNB. Then you want to go and navigate to the Forex tab, and you want to link to PayPal. So you want to set up an FNB account and you want to set up a PayPal account. Make sure that you verify your PayPal account because it's very easy to get banned on there. This is unfortunately one of the only ways you can earn in dollars, and it is risky because PayPal can sometimes just ban your account. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. You can also get direct bank transfers, but it takes a little bit longer, and international people are a little bit more apprehensive to that. So what I recommend for you is keep it simple. Use the freelancing platforms, funnel that money into PayPal, funnel that money into your account, and it's as easy as that. However, I would recommend looking locally first before you even consider that, but I thought I would mention it in this video. So with that being said, that's a step-by-step guide on actually starting a business as a South African. If you want something a little bit more detailed, a little bit more advanced, I'm happy to put that together. So just comment down below if you do want a little bit more of an advanced video, or if there's anything I missed, I'm happy to elaborate in a part 2. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.